Yeah.
This is that way.
You can monopod it.
Hello, North Country soccer fans, and welcome to Plattsburgh High School. It's November 2nd, 2013. We are at the Class D Section 7 Girls Soccer Finals. In the red is the Moriah Vikings, and in the white is the Chazy Eagles. Moriah comes into this game 9-6-1. They played Willsboro in the quarterfinals, and that ended up to be an overtime contest with them, with Pelkey scoring the goal in overtime to go on to win 2-1. Their next game was against Westport in the semifinals, which was a much different game where they won 6-0 and scored 4 goals in the first half. They are unranked in the state at this time in the New York State Sports Writers Association. The Chazy Eagles come in ranked number 7 in Class D. They are 14-2-1, and they came by way of a bye in the quarterfinals, and their semifinal match was a 3-0 win over Minerva Newcomb. They have a couple of big guns up front in Rachel Pombrio with 15 goals and 11 assists, and Hannah Lauren with 11 goals and 3 assists, and Logan Baker, their keeper, has 6 shutouts and leads the area with that many shutouts. You can see right off the bat here, Chazy wins a corner kick in less than 30 seconds, and that's Amber Polomsky sending the ball in there, and the ball was pushed over the net, but that ball fell right in front of the keeper, and she wasn't able to get there, and that was a close call right out of the gate. So again, this is the girls' Class D sectional finals. The winner of this game will play the winner from Section 10 in the regional game. The winner of that game then moves on to the Final Four in the state tournament. The ball comes out to number 2 for Chazy. That is Bailey Pepper in midfield, but that's taken away by Moriah, defender. The ball's played up big, and Olivia Blaze, the sweeper, controls and moves the ball to the right side of the field. Blaze plays the ball up, looking for number 20. That is Hannah Lauren, but the ball goes out, and it'll be a Moriah throw-in. As you can see, it's November 2nd. It's about 40 degrees and rainy here. It's a pretty chilly evening compared to what we had last night. We had an unseasonably warm evening in the 50s, and tonight it's quite a bit cooler. Moriah plays a big ball over the top, and that appears to be Haley Snyder, number 24, running on. She's unable to get there as Blaze plays the ball out harmlessly, and this is going to be a Chazy throw-in deep in their own end. The ball is thrown into 24, Courtney Gilmore, and Logan Baker controls that ball after it was played across by Moriah. Baker plays the ball up, finds Lauren. Lauren's unable to control, and the ball's played back to Pepper in the defense. I'm sorry, that's Kaylee Laporte. Laporte was looking for Gilmore on the outside, and the ball's played out. So Moriah early on putting a little pressure on the Chazy end here, and we'll see how this nets out and how they weather this first storm. Our officials this evening are Larry Bayshard and Pete Jakes are the linesmen, and Tom Lambert in the center. Todd Lambert, sorry. The ball is being headed around by both teams there. The ball is played off a Moriah player, and this will be a Chazy throw-in, again, deep in their own territory. Coach Sherman Breaker from Chazy brings a very large squad in tonight. And Moriah brought up 4 freshmen for tonight's game. They weren't on their original roster, but they've brought them up in the postseason play, and so they have a respectable number of subs on their bench as well. It's number 14 for Moriah, Slattery, controlling the ball, but that's taken away by number 1, Pombrio. Pombrio works against her and is able to keep control, sends a ball out toward the top of the box where it was played in by Latchmore to Lauren. Lauren unable to control. Gilmore working to get control of the ball there, goes down, but Lauren comes over and assists. Hannah Lauren to the right corner, looking to make a cross, plays a nice ball in. Header was missed originally. Pombrio heads the ball in, and it goes in. That's a goal, and Chazy scores the first goal. Headed by Pombrio with 36-25 remaining in the first half. Chazy gets on the board.
Unbelievable, Sean, that there would be 2 Chazy girls wide open there in front.
Yes, nice cross, and Calvin, you're right. They were wide open there as the ball came in, and nobody marking those 2 girls, and Chazy takes the early lead. We're
That was pretty cool.
the goal was scored by number 1 Rachel Pombrio, and the assist goes to number 21 Kinnan Latrimore.
Tap me on the shoulder when it hits 30 if I don't notice.
Is that for the half?
So we begin after the goal, and Moriah controls. I'm having trouble seeing those Moriah numbers. That's number 24, Snyder, working on that ball that goes to the right corner. The ball is blocked by the Chazy defender, and this will be a throw-in for Moriah. Number 3, Sprague, comes over for the throw-in. Thrown deep into the box. That's a very nice throw. And Moriah controls. It's number 20 shielding the ball. That's Pelkey. Pelkey takes a shot and goes wide right, and it'll be a Chazy goal kick. So again, as Kelvin said, Moriah's going to have to find some marks there deep in the box, and they came right back down and put a little pressure right back on Chazy, and Chazy leads 1-0. Goal kick comes out, a misplay by Moriah player, and is controlled by number 17. That is Lindsay Gilmore. Lindsay Gilmore gets the start tonight. She is an 8th grader, and she has put some power into the offense for Chazy this year as well. She scored a few goals for them, and she actually came off the bench and scored a goal in the semifinals last week too.
I think she scored the first goal of the game, wasn't it?
Last week? Yes, I think you're right, Kelvin. She did score the first goal of the game. So Lindsay Gilmore works to control that ball, plays up to Pombrio. Pombrio lets the ball bounce and finds Lauren alone in the middle, but plays it over top of her, and the ball's cleared by the Moriah defense. Ball comes to number 3, Sprague, in the right-hand corner here. Is played up big in the sweeper for Chazy. Blaze tries to control, but she isn't able to control. Number 12, Pratt, got loose. But I believe Polomsky came over and helped her out there. Throw-in goes to Blaze, and she's unable to control, but Baker steps in and takes the ball.
My relief man is here.
Okay.
Hustling Lee Barcombe, he's known as.
Almost got a ticket on the way here, but we made it.
You telling us hometown cable?
That's right. That was safe to go.
I'm going to fill you in as we go here and give everybody the view of my finger that is in front of the viewer. Make sure this audio is coming through here.
So Moriah is going to get a free kick here about 30 yards out. Ball is played in nicely. Baker comes off her line and punches the ball out as Lauren controls.
Sounds good.
I hope Sean was covering that because we weren't. He did.
Gilmore tries to work the ball up the right side and it goes out of bounds. So
Thanks, guys.
I'm joined here by Lee Barcombe as Kelvin had to leave, and Lee and I will be doing the girls' game now, and following this game at 7 o'clock this evening, it'll be the Chazy boys taking on the E-Town Lewis boys for the Section 7 Class D boys final. So rainy night here, a bit chilly, a lot different than last night, huh, Lee?
Miserable. It's going to be a hard and wet, fast field out there, of course. The fact that it's turf helps a little bit, but it's still going to be kind of nasty.
Yeah. So in case you're just joining us, we're at 32 minutes, 47 seconds of the first half. Chazy has tallied one already. There was a nice cross put in by Latrimore from the right corner and controlled by Pombrio. On a couple of bounces, she was able to head the ball past the Moriah goalie, and Chazy leads 1-0 very early in the contest. That ball is controlled by number 27. That's McDougal for Moriah. Played up and finds number 10, Spacek. Chazy steps in, and that's, I want to call her Baby Gilmore. It's Lindsay Gilmore controls, the 8th grader that I mentioned earlier. As her sister, Courtney Gilmore, plays up to Lauren. Hannah Lauren controls, plays the ball up the right wing, trying to find, that's number 7, I believe. No, that's not number 7. I'm not sure who's up front there. Again, Gilmore steps in. A little hard to see numbers here with this rain and what's going on here, but Blaze takes control of that ball as Polomsky steps up and tries to help her out there. Kaylee Laporte lost her mark there, and a shot comes in on Baker, and it skips, but Baker's able to control. So Moriah's come down and put a couple of shots on here that Baker's had to come off her line and make a couple of saves as we work through the first half here. Bailey Pepper and Kenan Latchmore, oh, that's Hannah Lorem working in the midfield, and that'll be a free kick for Chazy. So I saw, Lee, that there had been a tweet out there that right now Fort Anne and Northville, they're about 15 minutes in and it's 0-0. Have you heard anything else yet?
Yes, I did hear an update. Northville boys did score, and so they're leading just before the half. It was 1-0. I last saw.
All right, great. So the Chazy fans are watching that Section 2 final down south there with Northville and Fort Anne in the sectional final there, and our update is that Northville, as Lee said, leads 1-0 just before the half. Big ball played over as Baker comes off her line, is able to collect that before Moriah is able to run on that. In boys Class D, there was another, I guess we can call it an upset last night, as the number 1 ranked team from Poland lost to Watertown IHC and Watertown Immaculate Heart Center. They lost 2-0, so the number 1 ranked boys team in Class D was knocked out of the tournament last night. As I mentioned, the Chazy boys are currently ranked number 2, and we'll see them play shortly after this game finishes. Moriah continues to put pressure on as Chazy is struggling to clear the ball from their own end, and the Chazy girl is taken down in the box, but they said that went off the Moriah player, and that'll be a goal. That'll be a goal kick for Chazy. So this is a chance for them to relieve the pressure.
I'm not sure if you mentioned or Sean or not, but winner of this match will take on winner of Section 10.
Yep.
And Section 10 is always behind as far as timing goes. They're just starting their first quarterfinal round tonight, so we won't know the champion there for quite some time.
Yep. And it's the assumption that the powerhouse Chateauguay girls, who are currently ranked number 1, I believe, they will be the likely foe from there. But like we say, you play the games for a reason. You never know. Like Poland was knocked off last night, so there's always a chance.
Yeah, Chateauguay is actually ranked 3rd. Poland girls are ranked 1.
Okay.
But yes, it would be certainly a shock if Chateauguay were to lose in Section 10.
That's for sure. So that ball is played up to number 3, Sprague. She's unable to control as the Chazy defender comes in there. Again, I think that's Pepper that had stepped in there and taken control. And the ball comes out to Lindsay Gilmore. Lindsay Gilmore plays a nice big ball up over the top, trying to find her 2 strikers who were close together, playing nicely up front there, but was unable to control as the ball comes over, and Gilmore works to control again. Gilmore moves the ball inside number 20, who is Pelkey for Moriah, and Gilmore is able to control, plays the ball, looking for a corner ball, goes off of number 17, who is Bryce for Moriah. The throwing goes to Pombrio, who plays the ball out to the top of the box, but no Chazy players there, and is cleared by Moriah. Moriah Sprague tries to work on the ball here with the Chazy defender. That's number 8, Hannah Hayes on the outside here, and the ball goes off of Hayes, and it'll be it's a foul on Hayes, and it'll be a free kick for Moriah.
I was listening to Wiry on the way here from work, and Joey were saying that they weren't expecting Hannah Hayes to play tonight, so this is kind of a surprise.
Okay. Yep, she is out there, and her little sister Lily Hayes, who is a freshman, is on the bench and ready to go as well. The ball comes out to Gilmore. She misplays it, is unable to handle it, and the ball goes out of bounds as the flagsman raises the flag, and Sprague will take this throw in for Moriah. So with 27 and a half minutes left in the first half, it's Chazy 1, Moriah 0. And Moriah's had the ball in the Chazy end for quite some time now, applying some pressure as number 14, Slattery, plays a big ball up over top. And the Moriah player that I can't quite get her number, I'll get it in a minute, plays a big ball over the top for Moriah. I believe that's number 24, Snyder, but she was unable to knock that one in, and Chazy will have a free kick here. The goal kick comes out, and that's controlled by Pepper. Pepper looks for Gilmore. Gilmore unable to control. The ball sent up, and Pepper heads the ball out of bounds. Sprague will come over and take this throw in for Moriah.
Fairly even match, it looks like so far.
Yeah, it's been fairly back and forth, but like I said, I think Moriah's applying some pressure here. Chazy's got to work to get some composure and start possessing a little more.
Now, do these teams only meet once this year? Is that right?
I believe so. They only met once, and I believe it was a 3-0 win for Chazy, if I remember correctly.
I think that's right.
Sprague takes the throw in. She's got a great throw in, gets that pretty deep into the box, but it's headed out by Chazy. And Gilmore clears it up to number 17, Brace. Brace controls, plays the ball back to a Moriah player, and that goes off of Pombrio. Gilmore looking to control, but the ball goes out of bounds, and it'll be another Moriah throw-in. Again, they continue to work the ball down and control here, but Chazy gets the throw-in on this one.
I was trying to do some research online. It's real tough to find a lot of good research on the Moriah team, unfortunately. So it's difficult to get some answers on some of these ladies and how well they play.
Yeah, what I was able to find, I know that Pelkey scored the game-winning overtime goal against Willsboro in the quarterfinals, and Snyder is their leading scorer with 10 goals and 3 assists this year. And that was about all I was able to get as well, other than they had that 6-0 win in the semis against Westport with 4 of their goals coming in the first half.
So they're a dangerous team, obviously. They can put the ball in the net. It's just a matter of Chazy defense being strong and holding them out.
Absolutely. So Lindsey Gilmore plays that ball over. Polomsky plays a big ball over the top, and it looks like Lauren might be able to run into this one. But number 14, Slattery, came off her area and was able to clear. She beat Lauren to the ball, and it's they say that ball went off of Lauren, and it'll be a Moriah throw-in. Little pressure there finally out of Chazy with an opportunity. A big ball over the top looking for use that speed that Lauren has. This ball comes out to Lindsey Gilmore. She can be dangerous. She's got a good shot, but she looks to chip over. She finds Lauren open. Flag stays down. Ball over to Pombrio, but she's not able to get there. And the keeper Cross came off and did a nice job collecting that one. So at least Chazy's got a little spark going here. They're starting to get the ball down to Moriah end.
I think what's going to help the Eagles here in the long run is their experience in the postseason. A lot of these girls have seen what it's like to play in state play, so that's going to help. I don't think Mariah's ever gotten past this section as far as I can remember, at least. So I would say that this advantage goes to the Eagles there.
Yep, and that experience does go a long way. As I have a son that's playing on the Chazy boys team, and he was taking some pretty deep breaths tonight. This will be his first sectional final, and even before he left home, it was starting to nerve him up a little, and that does play a factor.
I still get nervous.
Gilmore plays over, finds Latrimore. Looked like that was a foul, but the whistle's not blown, and it's play on as Lambert says, no, let's just keep this one going, and Pombrio plays out to Gilmore. Gilmore works the ball up the left side, plays her left foot, but harmlessly goes out, and Lambert says that one was tipped, and this will be a corner. This, I believe, will be Chazy's second corner.
The dangerous looking trap there by the Viking player. The call from the fans, at least, was for a handball, but referee certainly had a better look.
Yeah, he was very close to it, and I agree with you. He probably had a much better look than we certainly do here. So Polomsky's going to come up and take this corner kick. It may be difficult for that camera to get in there. She plays a low, hard shot that's defended by Moriah. As Bailey Pepper plays it back into the mixer. Gilmore working to get to that one, but Polomsky comes back out and plays another ball across, then back to Polomsky. Polomsky's working to try to cross that ball. She's not able to get the ball in the air as Pepper steps up. Pepper moves up to the left corner, crosses the ball, but doesn't get it past the Moriah defender again. And that's number 14, Slattery, bringing the ball up the right side. She controls and is looking for her teammates, but wasn't able to find any as Kaylee Laporte collects the ball and moves out to the right side, finds Courtney Gilmore. Courtney Gilmore, the senior captain, as Lee was saying, has a lot of postseason experience. She's seen quite a bit, and she's one of the people out there that's going to anchor this team and help them with that experience.
Yeah, she and Amber Polomsky, probably two of the more seasoned veterans on the Eagles team, so I think the help and the words of those two young ladies will go a long ways.
Gilmore controls on the right side, moving up, cleared by number 27, McDougall. Not able to clear out, though, and Chazy still working to try to find that ball over the top. Ball played back to Pepper. Pepper works out to Gilmore. Gilmore controls and is moving up the left side, swings the ball in. The Cross was able to get to that one. She parried it a little bit and then just picked it up harmlessly. So the ball played up, Laporte trying to collect, and Pepper comes over and gives her some help and played out to Gilmore. Courtney Gilmore working up the right side, finds Hannah Lauren on the right corner, but she was offsides. So we're 21-23 in the first half. Chazy leading the Class D Section 7 girls contest. And Moriah's going to have a free kick for the offsides foul there. That ball goes off a Moriah player and is headed out and will be a Chazy throw in to Latrimore. Ball comes back to Pepper. Pepper finds Pombrio. Pombrio finds Lindsay Gilmore as she moves toward the middle of the field. The ball goes to Latrimore. Latrimore unable to control but puts a through ball, and Hannah Lauren's going to get to this one before it goes out. She makes a swinging move there. Ball is played in. Pombrio was there, but Cross was able to get to it first and collects it nicely. She throws out quickly as Moriah looks to counterattack. Ball is played up and misplayed by Hannah Lauren, but comes back, and that was Olivia Blaze that finds that ball. Played up to Bailey Pepper. Pepper looking for Latrimore. She's unable to get there, and the Moriah defense steps up and plays another big ball over. Blaze chests the ball down and finds Polomsky. Polomsky working on the outside, looks for Lindsay Gilmore. She's able to find her as Gilmore works back toward the middle. Gilmore looking for her centers. And Rachel Pombrio is offsides, and we're going to have another free kick for Moriah.
Just offsides, but you got to use that speed of Rachel Pombrio to get past that defense. Sooner or later, she'll get the call in her advantage.
And it looks like Coach Sherman's idea here is Moriah's playing that flat four in the back. She's looking for the through balls and using that speed of Lauren and Pombrio to run on.
It's a good idea, and she's also using her sweeper to stay back to cut off the same thing from happening in the Vikings' favor.
Absolutely, and we've called Blaze's name quite a bit here. She's been fairly busy back there and doing a super job. That's Latrimore trying to find Gilmore on the right side. Gilmore trying to play the ball through, and then Latrimore controls again, plays to the other center mid, who is Bailey Pepper. Pepper number 2 plays out Gilmore wide open, and that's how they were able to score in the first time that Pombrio was able to get wide open here on that left side. Ball's played across in the middle, and Pombrio comes back and collects. Pombrio lets go with the left foot, just wide and high.
Again, may have been handled there. I think the player didn't intentionally put her arm up, so the referee let the play fly.
Yeah, I bought a new rule book this year because things have changed a little bit, and what I've seen is, in reading this, and I think the refs are staying to this, that if your hands are tight to the body and you don't move them as they are kicked into you, it is not a foul. If you move them up to protect your face, it is a foul. You can't move them once the ball's been kicked. And they've been calling that pretty consistently all year this year. What I did notice last night in the Class B finals is Lauren scores! Nice cross by Pombrio, and Hannah Lauren was there completely unmarked again. The second time a Chazy player unmarked in the box, and Chazy takes a 2-0 lead.
All alone, she made no mistake. She put the ball calmly past the keeper. Well done. Veteran move right there.
Take a break. Red button back here.
What's going to happen is,
There you go.
this game's going to be going from camera on.
Okay, and we're back after that score, and again we'll get the official announcement here, but I think that was Pombrio to Lauren is what we're going to hear. Ball is collected by number 24 Snyder, but Hannah Hayes is able to come up and finds Pombrio open on the right side. She's looking for Lauren in the middle. Lauren touches, unable to control, and back to Pombrio. Pombrio uses that speed and goes by Brace and is looking for Lauren again in the center. But this time she was marked, and the Moriah defender was able to control that ball. This is Kaylee Laporte working to defend on the far side, and that ball goes out of bounds, and that is going to be a Chazy. No, that's going to be a Moriah. No, it is a Chazy throw, and I had it right. Ball thrown to Courtney Gilmore. Plays the ball up, looking for Hannah Lauren.
This is the championship? Yeah. So that's why I'm saying, if you stuck around, you could get the second half, and then you could get...
We have Laporte going back, trying to play it off the Moriah player. The ball goes out of bounds, and... And they say, no, yes, it is a Moriah throw-in. As number 6 is going to check into the game. That's Samantha Ida.
First question is,
Well, the Vikings have a big hole to dig out of here now, down 2-0 to these veteran Eagles. It's going to be a long road to hoe right here at this point forward.
You're right, Lee. They're in a big hole here, and that's going to be difficult. So Chazy's trying to clear the ball, and I think the wind might be affecting them a little bit, as the wind is in their face as Pomeroy comes over and works up the left side here. Pomeroy goes around Brace and looks to play to Gilmore. She's trying to find Courtney Gilmore with that through ball. Again, we were talking about that flat defense, and if Chazy can get through, they have the speed, as Brace comes over and tries to clear the ball out. Ball comes to Latrimore, who has time, and she looks to reverse the field, but the reverse was blocked, and the ball's played out where number 14 Slattery controls for Moriah. Olivia Blaze steps up, and she's forced to play the ball out of bounds. And this is Sprague who will take the throw-in. Sprague looks to find Snyder, and again, Snyder is their powerhouse player, and this will be a corner kick for Moriah. This is Moriah's first corner kick, and this is a possible opportunity, Lee, for them to dig out of that hole a little bit.
Eagles got to make sure the ball does not land in the area. Get your head on that ball first. Clear it away.
So Sprague is going to take the kick, and I see that Snyder has positioned herself in front of Logan Baker, the keeper for Chazy.
Shelby Gagnon on for the Eagles in the substitution.
As Lindsey Gilmore comes off, the ball is played, touched by Moriah player, harmlessly rolls over the end line, and this will be a Chazy goal kick. So we're down to just a little over 15 minutes. Chazy with a 2-0 lead, and the rain and the wind are picking up a little more here. As Brace, no, that's not Brace, that was number 20. Pelkey plays a big ball up, and again, this is going to be another Chazy goal kick. It's going to be tough for Chazy to play that ball over the top, as the wind is starting to pick up pretty good and is in their face at this time.
Yep, they'll have to use their skill to keep the ball on the ground. Nice short passes. Use the outside of the field, switch fields like they looked at to do earlier, too.
Ball is played out to Lindsey Gilmore. Lindsey tries to control and was unable to, as Sprague steps up and plays as the ball rolls out of bounds, and number 20 Pelkey was there but unable to control, and they're going to have Sprague take this throw in using the wind, and she's got a big throw anyway. She's looking for Snyder in the box. Ball headed by number 11 Meacham into the box. Meacham comes out, tries to control. Number 20 Pelkey plays the ball in, but the Chazy defense is standing strong. The ball goes over the top, and it'll be another Chazy goal kick. Got some pressure on Chazy again here.
Yeah, Chazy needs to take a moment to relax. Take a little longer on this goal kick. Let the kids rest and get up to midfield area.
Polomsky takes the kick, and is controlled by Snyder. Ball is chested down by Moriah, and comes out with Latrimore controlling. Latrimore looks and tries to find Courtney Gilmore, but Brace was able to get her foot on the ball but wasn't able to control. But played to the center of the field. That was controlled by Sprague. Ball comes back with Brace running on, and Pomeroy is giving her some pressure. Pomeroy still working on her, as Brace is just going to play the ball out of bounds, and she doesn't want any part of Pomeroy right now. Lindsey Gilmore takes the throw in and finds Bailey Pepper. Pepper trying to play the through ball is unable, as Gilmore pops one in. This is on net. It takes a bounce, and Cross is able to collect that one, but Hannah Lauren smartly was there.
Might as well take that chance. Test the keeper a little bit more.
Yep. Especially with a 2-0 lead. So that's Shelby Gagnon playing the ball. She finds Pomeroy loose. Pomeroy is loose in the box. One-on-one chance, but comes back and is blocked. Number 14 Slattery did a nice job coming back and stopping that shot.
Very sound defensive play there.
You can't let Rachel Pomeroy loose. She scored several, and this time Courtney Gilmore is going to sub her sister out. Lindsey Gilmore is going to get a little rest here. Down to 12:40, and Kenan Latrimore is going to take this third corner kick for Chazy. Still unable to get that ball up in the air, and misplayed by Lauren, and goes over the end line for a Moriah goal kick. So I'm hearing, Lee, that what I saw on the Weather Channel, that around 7 o'clock. This rain's supposed to let up a little bit, and maybe the boys won't have to mess with this. We'll see how it goes.
Well, let's hope so.
This is nasty cold stuff tonight. They're calling for snow showers tonight, and I think we just might see them here in the Champlain Valley. Good hard work, and again, I was saying this at Class B games last night. The refs are starting to let the kids play now. There was some good shoulder-to-shoulder play there, and the whistle stays down and let them play as long as there's nothing blatant and they're working hard. Let them play.
That may be the biggest adjustment for some of the young players in the sectional and state championship play is the physicality.
Yeah.
Big difference from what you see in the regular season.
Well, Brace has to just play that over her own end line as Chazy's going to get another opportunity with a corner kick. Pomerio's going to take a shot at this one and see if she can get one up in the air for Chazy.
I'd like to see him try a short kick here. They've been having trouble getting it in there. Why not try a short one?
Yeah, I agree. It's they just haven't been able to get that ball off the ground here.
There it is. Yep, they listen.
So that was Courtney Gilmore coming in begging for that ball. Pomerio's trying to play that ball over, and that ball was handled, and this is going to be a PK for Chazy.
Oh boy.
That was an intentional handball, and I don't know if the card's going to come out or not, but it's definitely a PK for Chazy.
Doesn't appear to be reaching for a card, but this is a great chance for the Eagles to take a stranglehold.
So it looks like Latrimore is going to be the chosen one here, as Mr. Lambert gives instructions to the goalie, and I'm sure he's talking to her about making sure she stays on her line. She's able to move laterally, but she's not able to come off her line. And Latrimore will be able to place the ball on the penalty spot, and she'll just need to wait for the whistle to be blown. So last night in the Class B girls game, we saw a phenomenal save in the second overtime on a PK. Latrimore harmlessly puts that one to the right side. The goalie wasn't even able to move. I think she had a little concrete in her boots there, and Chazy goes up 3-0.
Again, well played, nothing fancy, just nice inside of the foot placement of the shot. Very well done.
And she didn't wait and give the goalie time to think about it. She just put it in.
That's right.
So we're at 10:51, and Chazy takes a 3-0 lead, and as we move into the latter part of the first half here, and the time just changed to 11:10.
It's still running.
And it's still running as we're gonna run this one down a little bit and get it back where it belongs. I think it's at 11:04, and we're gonna leave it right there. It's only 10 seconds, and I'm sure it's not going to affect the outcome of the game here. Moriah controls on the kickoff and plays the ball up, and Polomsky just booms the ball out of her area as Pombrio runs on. And number 20, that's Pelkey, try to control. That is off of Chazy, and now Sprague is going to use that big throw and try to get another one in, and again, looking for Snyder. Snyder is able to control. She's working, trying to take the ball in a little more, but I believe that's Lindsay Gilmore comes out. Nope. Courtney Gilmore comes out, takes her off the ball. Pelkey plays the ball back into the box, but it's played out by the Chazy defense, and Shelby Gagnon runs over and just plays the ball out of bounds, trying to make sure she's able to clear that ball and take the pressure off. So here we are, we're in a 3-0 situation, and we have an injury. I was wondering what was stopping here, but 24 Snyder is limping off, and that's hopefully she's okay and she'll be able to return, but that's not going to help Moriah any with their leading goal scorer on the bench injured at this time.
Not one bit, and the rain's coming down harder, it appears, right now, so it's none too pleasant to be out there, and it's cold. It's in the 40s.
So this will be a Moriah throw in, and again, this is where it gets dangerous. Is the ball is wet. We're on turf. It skips funny, and Chazy's not used to playing on turf, which I'm sure Moriah is not either. And the keepers are going to have to be astute here to keep their games in order.
Absolutely. Always good to test the keeper with a nice low hard shot from the outside. Make him handle it well. We got an injury for Chazy now, it looks like.
Ooh, I'm not sure who that is, but she was taken down hard, and she looks like she's...
21, is that Latrimore?
That is Latrimore, and
we're going
to take a break, and we'll see how things come out here.
Place is locked up.
Okay, we're back. The good news is Kenan Latrimore was able to stand and walk off on her own power. It looks like she may have an arm or shoulder injury of some sort. And you can see this is a Chazy free kick, and again, that flat defense for Moriah. They've pulled it up almost to the midline here.
Flat across. So this
flat across.
Dangerous play. We can time and run.
Again, that wind is hurting them, and Blaze wasn't able to play it in. But as Lee was saying, if they'd been able to time that run, Moriah's coming with numbers here on the counter, and 24. Snyder was able to check back into the game here right after that injury time, and Blaze brings the ball up the right side, able to control, but she plays it out of bounds. She was chased by number 11, Meacham there, putting a little pressure on her, and Sprague's going to take that big throw again and try to get into the box, but Polomsky heads it out. Headed back in by Pelkey, but controlled by Chazy. As Lauren comes back to help out and does a nice job of control, but Chazy's in the prevent and just playing the big ball out, and they let the ball go through to Baker. It's going to be good for Chazy when time runs out here in this first half, because they'll get this nice wind at their backs in the second half. Moriah needs to capitalize on this right now and use it to their best ability. If this continues, it's going to be a tough time for them with wind in their face. Shelby Gagnon is on the far side, plays the ball up, but Moriah was able to collect. 24, Snyder plays the ball out of bounds, and Kaylee Laporte will take this throw in. We're down to 8 minutes with Chazy leading 3-0. And
Shots with wet umbrellas.
it's the fans are. The girls. I'm sure they're cold, but they're at least running and moving. The fans. This is a cold one. I know Coach Brendler is right here below us, and he doesn't miss this stuff if at all possible. And we were at the field of his namesake last night with the Class B finals. The girls was probably one of the best girls games I've ever seen, with Saranac prevailing. We'll be back to that in just a minute as Pombrio gets loose but unable to do much with that left foot. Is the Saranac girls prevailed over Beekmantown in penalty kicks that went to the 6th round, and that's where it was finally decided. The boys' game was Beekmantown versus Plattsburgh. Plattsburgh, a young team who did not start their season very well. Coach LaRose did a great job in rebuilding this program and bringing those boys along and getting to the sectional finals, and they were in contention in the first half. A lot of pressure, but Beekmantown came away with the win. So the Beekmantown boys are the Section 7 Class B champions, and the Saranac girls are the Section 7 Class B girls soccer champions.
I'm not sure who Section B, who 7 plays in Section B in the regionals, but I do know that Ichabod Crane, nemesis from last year, won the Section 2 for Class B. So
yes, and they do go to 2. And right now the finals, unless they were contested today, as of last night, it was number 1 ranked Ichabod Crane. They're tied for first, and number 12 Shelmont in the finals in Section 2 Class B. And Shelmont's a name that we've seen on this field several times, and another powerhouse out of Section 2. So you're right, the Beekmantown boys have their work cut out for them, whichever foe they meet there coming at them from Section 2.
Exactly. And then, going back to 7 girls, they're going to have a tough challenge with Section 10. And if they get past 10, they play the winner of Section 5-6, which is probably the better choice to go to the Final Four.
Okay, we'll go back to action here as Hannah Hayes goes up and tries to play that ball, and goes to Polomsky. Polomsky misplays it, and this is number 3, Sprague, working the ball down the right side. Sprague able to control, looking for, I believe that's number 12, Pratt in the middle, but not able to control as that was Pombrio plays the ball out to Courtney Gilmore. Courtney Gilmore works up to the left side without much pressure, tries to play past Brace, but Brace steps in and stops that kick and looks to find Sprague. Sprague plays back to Pelkey. Pelkey plays a big ball up, and this is Snyder coming in, and she hits Blaze, but yes, there is a foul there. She goes in with the shoulder, and she didn't go straight up. She went at her, and Snyder's not agreeing with Mr. Lambert at this time, but it's going to go Chazy's way on this one. So Polomsky will take this kick, and Blaze is a tough girl. I've seen her take quite a few knocks, and she gets right up and says no problem. Again, Moriah plays that flat D on the 45-yard line of the football field here, and Chazy, just with the wind, isn't able to get over that. If they play that going the other direction, they're going to be in trouble in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely.
No doubt about it.
Polomsky heads the ball out, and again, Moriah has had the ball in their end, but they haven't had a real threat with a shot on goal yet. That's flicked over though, and that one was probably the most dangerous so far. As Polomsky has to play a big ball up, and you can just see how that ball checks up in the wind, and it's just not able to clear it out. You got to keep the ball on the ground and able to move it, and Lauren controls. There's some space on the right side as Gagnon gets that ball, and she's going to be looking for Lauren to make the run. Lauren was worried about being off sides and checked up and didn't make the run, and she would have been fine as this side was wide open, but she didn't know that as Gilmore comes back and plays the through ball. Everybody on side, the flag stays down as Pombrio is loose again. Pombrio taken out.
Another penalty kick.
And this will be a second PK as she's taken out in the box with a slide, and and this will be the second PK of the game.
I don't know when the last time you saw this, 2 penalty kicks in the same game, but I think they both were warranted.
Yes, and let alone in the first half.
Surprisingly, they cut no yellow card in that play either. There really should have been.
Yeah, that was from behind and took her down pretty hard. So
It could have even been red because she was the last person back.
So with Latrimore on the bench, Coach Sherman is going to send Polomsky to the line this time to take this one, as number 3 Lily Hayes is waiting to check in once this play happens. So Polomsky lines up to take the PK here. I think that one. Yeah, I think that went off the football crossbar there, and she put it over. So a golden opportunity wasted is 3:44 in the first half. Chazy leads 3-0, but taking that 4-0 lead and one more assurance goal never hurts.
I think Coach Trombley is going to probably keep Kendall Latrimore on the bench, even if she's good to go for the rest of the game. No need to play her. Yeah,
that would be a wise decision because the winner here, as we were saying, goes to Section 10, and that Section 10 foe could be somebody very formidable.
Exactly.
So you're up this much, let her sit and nurse that injury and do okay. I can see she is sitting on the bench. She does not have her warm-ups on. And she's conversing with the other girls, so she's just taking a little time here. Shelby heads the ball up to looking for, that was Lily Hayes. I think Lily Hayes must have gone on for Pombrio. She's playing up the left wing, and Lily is another freshman on this team who sees some time and has put in some good minutes for Coach Sherman this year. And she's moved a few of the younger girls up. Cross comes off her line smartly and is able to collect that one. And that's how they're going to play that flat defense. Cross is going to have to come off that line like that a little more often.
Shelby Gagnon's been pretty dangerous on the right half. She's put some nice balls through for people over there. She's doing a good job off the bench.
Moriah had an opportunity there where the ball was past all of the Chazy defenders, but none of the Moriah offense was able to get up there. Snyder controls this ball. We're going to get past Hannah Lauren. She goes down. Snyder does, and the ball is played off of Sprague, and Gilmore is forced to kick that one out of bounds. And Sprague will get another opportunity for her big throw-in as we come down to the 2-minute mark of the first half. Sprague with a big throw-in, but still not able to get to one of her players, number 13. Nope, that's not 13. That must be 12. Pratt headed the ball over and wasn't able to get it through as Bryce plays and switches the field a little bit there, looking for number 10 Spashik, but unable to do that. Shelby Gagnon comes out with the ball and finds Hannah Lauren. Hannah Lauren makes a nice little move around there, uses her speed and gets through. Chazy comes in on sides.
Laura Trombley
is in, and that was number 23. Yes, Mara Trombley had checked in, and I can hear her dad over there on wiring going crazy as Mara Trombley scores, and Chazy goes up 4-0 with 1:34 left in the first half.
We'll be right back.
Mara Trombley from, we think, Hannah Lauren. Okay, so we're waiting to hear the...
Scored by number 23,
Yep, so the assist went to Hannah Lauren on that last goal as Moriah Trombley knocks it in. The junior comes off the bench and puts home another one as Chazy takes a 4-0 lead. Lily Hayes plays to the middle of the field, but Lauren wasn't there this time. And this is Sprague putting some pressure on Blaze as the ball rolls to the corner and goes out for a, this is going to be a throw-in. With Sprague's throw-in abilities, this could be very similar to a corner kick with we're less than 50 seconds. Ball is chested down and played to the top of the box, but not away as number 11, Meacham controls, but she plays it into the legs of a Chazy defender and comes out to Brace. Brace lets the ball roll out of bounds, and this will be a Moriah throw-in as we come down to 30 seconds of the first half. Brace takes the throw in, finds Sprague. Sprague heads up to Meacham. Meacham plays back to Sprague. Sprague finds Snyder. Snyder unable to control as Polomsky comes away with it, but Pelkey steps over and plays the ball off, where 14 Slattery comes over and has control now. Slattery looking to find her player there as we're down to 10 seconds, and Moriah pressuring here. And it looks like she's going to run out of time as that was Courtney Gilmore, I believe. Nope, I can't get that number. Well, it was Billy Pepper that came over as we come to the end of the first half. Chazy leads 4-0, and we'll be back after the half. Okay, sports fans, we're back. Hometown Cable at the Class D Section 7 Girls Soccer Finals. The red is the Moriah Vikings, and in white, the Chazy Eagles. At the half, Chazy has a 4-0 lead. Chazy had an unusual first half opportunity with 2 penalty kicks. They were able to convert on one, and one was put over the crossbar. And it hasn't been one person putting them all in, as Pombrio scores the first. Lauren scores one. Kenan Latrimore converted on the penalty kick, and Moriah Trombley comes off the bench and adds one for Chazy as they lead 4-0. As you can see, we got a driving rain going and a bit of wind here. It's not as strong as it was. It's blowing from our left to right, so it's at Chazy's back right now, and that was a bit troublesome for Chazy as they were trying to work the ball up. Moriah playing a flat 3, flat 4 defense, and Chazy trying to play big balls over the top and run onto those and use the speed they have up front. And the wind was hindering that effort a little bit, but it looks like that they'll have the win in their favor in this half. That's number 11, Meacham, coming over to control. Is played to number 23, DeSimone, but she wasn't able to control, and they said Pombrio was a step too early there, and but that's the right idea. As you can see, as I was saying earlier, they're going to have the opportunity with the through ball.
I'm surprised that Moriah coach hasn't made the adjustment yet, because 3 of the 4 Eagle goals short of the PK were scored on through balls like that with a one-on-one via the keeper. So really something that their coach should be adjusting more, like what Chazy's doing with one sweeper staying back a little further.
Yep. I don't think they probably haven't practiced much other than they've used that flat 4 and been successful. So it's kind of tough for them to do. As Brace is going to take this kick for Moriah. Ball goes up to number 14, Slattery. Slattery looking for Sprague, number 3 out there, unable to collect, and the ball comes back to Slattery. Slattery works out the outside and has Pratt available there, but she switches the field and again is looking for Snyder. Snyder, number 24 up front, is their main striker and is their main goal scorer this year. I'm not sure who that is for Chazy. I thought it was Shelby Gagnon, but it wasn't. That was Rachel Pombrio out there making that run, and as Hannah Lauren is looking for Pombrio on the outside, number 5 Burbank is to clear it out, and the ball goes over the end line, and that's going to be I believe, Chazy's 5th corner kick. They were having trouble getting the ball in the air on their corner kicks earlier, and as Lee said that he had a great idea there that maybe they ought to look to play a short corner. They did try it a little bit, but weren't able to convert, and we'll see if Pomeroy is able to get this one in the air, plays it to the top of the box. The ball bounces twice, and no one controls. As the ball comes out to Snyder, Snyder touches over to Sprague. Sprague touches back to Snyder. Snyder making a run on Laporte, but Laporte does a nice job of sticking that ball, but was unable to collect it as the ball's played big over the top as Olivia Blaze controls. Blaze plays up, and a little bit of boot ball going on both ways here as here comes Moriah on the attack with Slattery working through right now, trying to find Slattery again, but they weren't able to get through to her with number 12 Pratt was trying to find her on that run. As Courtney Gilmore goes up, tries to find Hannah Lauren. Lauren unable to control, and the ball goes out of bounds.
I see 21 back out there for the Eagles, so Kenan Latchmore's back out there.
Okay, so Kenan Latchmore, number 21, suffered some type of an arm injury in the first half, but as Lee said, she's back out there, so that's good. It looks like she's doing just fine as Courtney Gilmore plays the ball up the right side and goes out of bounds. Latchmore was taken down pretty hard there, and the penalty kicks that we said we had in the first half, one was handling in the box, and the second one, Pomeroy had somewhat of a breakaway, and the defender came over and tried to slide to take the ball, but she took Pomeroy instead, and so that was the second opportunity for the penalty kick because that one was in the box. Chazy has the throw in here on the right side. Up close here is Gilmore. Pepper makes a run in, trying to help her out. She's got three kind of crowded. They need to spread out a little more. Lauren tries to head the ball over, but the ball's played out by number 23, DeSimone. Gilmore's going to take another throw in. Plays the ball up and again to another Moriah defender, and finally is able to play the ball over with Pomeroy running on. And that's number 20, Pelkey, coming over to clear the ball out to this side. And Bryce has got Lauren in her face, and she says no thank you and heads the ball out of bounds. Gilmore comes up to take the throw in again as Latchmore makes a run trying to bring him closer to her to get the ball thrown over, but they were unable to convert there. And this is number 14, Pelkey, moving the ball up. She's trying to work past Gilmore and is able to do so, but Hannah Hayes steps up and moves the ball out for her. Lauren coming back, collects the ball, finds Pepper in the middle of the field. Bailey Pepper moves, plays the ball out to, I can't see who that is. That's got to be Lindsay Gilmore on the far side there. Number 17 plays the ball over. Had Lauren open, but Lauren touches it wide, and that's going to be a goal kick. Again, another,
You're going to call, I guess it went off the defender?
they're still trying to decide. Nope, there it is, and it is going to go off. Again, Han Lauren comes in the box, kind of marked, but the defender was on the wrong side of her as the ball was coming in from the left side. And it's been that way all night. The Chazy attack has been able to get free in the box, and as Lee was saying, they've got to mark them a little more closely in order to be competitive here. Ooh, that one, they said not intentional, but when that ball's played back to the keeper by your own player, if it's intentional, the keeper cannot handle that one. But Mr. Lambert keeps the whistle down and says no intent there, and they play on as this ball comes up to number 3, Sprague. Sprague plays to Haley Snyder. Snyder is the leading goal scorer for Moriah. She plays by Polomsky. She pounds one in that goes wide right, and this will be a Chazy goal kick.
She has some good speed. That's for sure, Sean.
She did. Polomsky is no slouch out there on the outside. She went right by her.
Well, the good thing is that this score holds as is. It's going to give the coach, Sherman Trombley, a good chance to play some of her young players, get them some experience in a sectional championship game moving forward. So I think that's a good opportunity.
It is, and she has a very deep bench, as we were talking about. And, with Latchmore going down there, she seems to be fine, but you never know how many injuries you're going to suffer. Things happen in practice. Kids get sick. It's very important to get them that experience that you're talking about, Lee.
No doubt.
Gilmore takes the throw in to Pepper. Pepper heads back to Gilmore. Gilmore tries to work the ball through and is able to come out with it. She's working to the corner, but Bryce plays the ball out of bounds again. Gilmore takes a quick throw in and finds Lauren in the corner. Lauren makes a run to the byline, plays it across. This one's dangerous, but Cross goes up and takes it, and Good to see. Chazy had a far post runner there, and Lindsay Gilmore making a run over there.
She was ready for the keeper to mishandle it. That's exactly what you got to do.
Pelkey controls for Moriah, plays the ball up, looks for Sprague. Sprague controls, tries to touch out to Snyder, but that's Kaylee Laporte that steps up and takes control for Chazy. Ball's played out, Laporte controls. Ball was played by DeSimone into the center and back to Pelkey. Pelkey again trying to find Snyder making a run. Snyder shields the ball. Her players were offside, so she wasn't able to play that one in. She plays this one, and as Baker comes off her line, is able to collect that one over in the corner of her box. We're at 31-30 of the second half with Chazy with a 4-0 lead. As Logan Baker, who has 6 shutouts, leader in the Section 7 area with that number of shutouts, plays the ball up and finds Lauren. Lauren works the ball left, trying to find Pombrio, but unable to get the ball through. But Lauren was able to play the miscue again. Lauren controls, plays the ball back to Latrimore. Latrimore plays over for Pepper. A little bit hard, but Gilmore controls. Gilmore touches past number 23, DeSimone, where she works on now Pelkey. Nope, not Pelkey, Meacham. Meacham and Brace take the ball out of bounds, and Chazy has another throw-in. Pepper alone toward the top of the box, and the ball comes across as Polomsky comes on, lays a nice shot in there, goes just wide left.
Nice little series of play there for the Eagles. They're keeping the pressure on the Vikings, and the Vikings are content to push the ball out of play as soon as they get a chance.
So that's been what the Moriah Vikings have had to do, Lee, is they've had to play a lot of balls just harmlessly out of bounds as Chazy continues to pressure them. They've had some opportunities in the first half with some pressure, but were unable to put anything really meaningful on net. And now they got that wind in their face, and they're struggling a little more.
Chazy's been really strong on the outside wings, just doing a really good job on the sidelines, and that's what's forcing them, Moriah to play that way.
And you're right. Their defense seems compact in the back, and so they've not had a lot of opportunity to get outside and defend. And those wings have been wide open, and Chazy's recognized that and capitalized. So this is going to be a Moriah goal kick as we continue to work here in the second half. We still have significant rain coming down, and we're at about 6:15 in the evening here on November 2nd, 2013. The ball comes loose. Lauren plays herself. Oh, that was Pombrio, plays herself just a little too big there, and the sweeper Pelkey comes over and takes that ball off. This is Lindsay Gilmore working on the right side. The ball goes over the byline, and this is going to be a corner kick for Chazy. This time Latrimore is going to go over and take this one. They've had 4 different girls take corner kicks tonight. And again, as she faces the direction she's facing, the wind is in her face a little bit. If she plays that one up toward the top of the box, it's going to curl back in with the wind. The ball falls, and Pelkey works to control and take that ball out, looking for Sprague, but Sprague wasn't able to get that before it was kicked out of bounds. So Chazy will have to throw in with the wind at their backs. Actually, I'm looking at the flag now, and the wind, it's laid down quite a bit. Really not having much wind effect at all right now, so we just got to deal with the rain here that continues to come down quite hard. We are on a turf field here, so the mud isn't an issue, but this turf still does get slippery, and we've talked a little bit about the keepers and some of their struggles that they'll have with this, with the funny skips and bounces on this stuff, but all things being said, it's probably best we're on turf tonight. That ball was an opportunity if it could have stayed in bounds. As Haley Snyder was able to block that and was running on, but wasn't able to control it. Pepper gives chase over there as this ball comes out to Meacham. Meacham looking to find the wing out here, but Courtney Gilmore controls with DeSimone in chase. Gilmore gets past her with 3 Moriah defenders coming on her, plays the ball up, not able to control, and this will be a goal kick.
looked like it deflected off the defender there for a moment, but apparently not. At halftime, we had a chance to look up some scores of the other sections that are playing. Section 3, which is the powerhouse of Section D right now in women and girls soccer. Number 1 ranked team, number 2 ranked team playing each other for the Section 3 championship. Poland and Copenhagen were tied at 2s late in the second half.
And in the Class D boys action in Section 2, we learned that Fort Ann has defeated Northville 2-1 and will be crowned as the Class D sectional champions for Section 2. They will await the winner of Eldred out of Section 9. Do I have that right, Lee?
Yes, I believe so.
And Smithtown Christian out of Section 11 as they will play their, I guess, their semi-regional game to get to the regional final. As there are both smaller sections. There's only wide open as Lauren makes the turn, but Cross did a nice job collecting that one.
Yeah, she was wide open. Boy.
The Section 9 has 3 Class D teams, and Smithtown Christian had a real tough time as they're the only Class D team down there in Section 11, and were crowned the champions and move immediately to that regional semifinal, as I term it. It's, I guess you'd call that a kind of a play-in game.
Yeah.
And so they will face each other to face Fort Ann in regional action to go to the Final Four.
That's a tough match for those guys to pull. It's a real tough team in Fort Ann.
Yep, they've Fort Ann is. We're pretty sure they're undefeated this. Nope, they had one loss. Now I remember they lost to Class C, Lake George by a score of 1-0, and that's their only defeat. Oh, that goes off the post as Polumsky lets go with a nice left foot. No, actually they're saying they went off the keeper. Cross did a nice job getting down.
I think she might have got her knee on that one.
And so this will be another corner for Chazy as they continue to put pressure on. Nice ball over the top, but headed out by the Moriah player as Pomeroy goes up and tries. Polumsky heads it back into the mixer. But Moriah kicks the ball out to Pepper. Pepper heads the ball up. And number 14, Pelkey and Polumsky going at it there, but Chazy controls. Chazy finds Lauren. Lauren makes a nice cut and plays the ball across. Trying to find Pomeroy, who misses with her head. The shot goes in. Shot by Kevin Latrimore, who scores her second goal of the game as it goes in just inside the left post.
That was a bit of a cue ball shot, tricked the keeper. I think it had some side spin on it and went in the side panel.
And it was just like we said, Lee's been saying all along, in this rain on this turf, take a shot and see what happens. A low harsh shot on the ground is a great thing. Is we're going to take a short break here. And we are back, and it is 5-0 Chazy leading Moriah as we begin with 25 minutes left in the second half. As Calvin has taught me very well, as I've done some games for him not to say in the game because you never know. But this one's starting to sound like we might be able to say that, Lee.
I have to agree with that. Chazy's been dominant, especially in their attacking third of the field. They've really capitalized on their chances and given Moriah no chance to stop them.
So that was number 24, Courtney Gilmore for Chazy, giving chase with 23, D. Simone there. And this is going to be a Moriah throw-in as D. Simone picks up the ball and is going to give that one toss. Right after that goal was scored, a Moriah player went down about the 30-yard line of their own end, and we weren't able to see what happened to her, but the good news is she was able to get up and walk off on her own power as Haley Snyder works past Blaze. This Snyder, again, is their potential player, is played out to Sprague, and Sprague wasn't able to control. Number 20, Pelkey, comes over and is working that. And we're going to have numbers 3 and 4 Chazy check in. Lily Hayes and Shelby Gagno, who came in the first half, are about to check back in. Ball is played out, and this is going to be a Moriah throw-in in the Chazy end, and Moriah starting to assert themselves a little bit. They actually brought 4 up, and but the throw-in didn't work out as Chazy counters with Polumsky playing a big ball through as Pomeroy comes running out, but Cross comes off her line and out of the box and plays that ball smartly up the field. Lauren working to try to get that ball back through as D. Simone chests the ball down and moves it back, but plays a big ball and is unable to find feet. Lauren makes a turn, and Lauren controls for Chazy. Pomeroy is wide open. but she wasn't able to get the ball out there to her as Brace comes back and plays the ball back to the middle of the field. Ball rolls through as Bailey Pepper controls and looks to take the space and is able to get through the legs of number 10, Spishak, on the far side, as Lindsey Gilmore works up that side and finds Pepper. Pepper has a touch through. Pomeroy is kind of stuck there, and Courtney Gilmore comes up and is trying to have some effect and bring the ball through as Brace goes down, and it looks to be, no, that's not Brace. That is number 23, I believe, Dee Simone, who is down. She's able to get up, and I think she's going to be able to continue.
She took a ball to the face or maybe a body part because the ref checked for some blood around her nose, it looked like.
Cross was able to control and punch the ball out, and still not sure what's happening on that far bunch, but EMT, Mr. Thompson, is who's working the game this evening, is going to go over and provide some assistance to that player that was injured for Moriah. Hannah Lauren's able to break through here, puts a shot on net. Cross gets her hands on it, but it goes through, and Chazy takes a 6-0 lead as Hannah Lauren puts that ball up, and there was a half-hearted effort by Cross there. I think she needed to jump a little bit as she wasn't able to control that one. We'll take a break as they reset the field here. Okay, we're back with 22-18 left in the first half. With Courtney Gilmore plays the ball up. Hannah Lauren having a big night here, who scores another goal, and Bailey Pepper, the freshman, I believe. Let me check that. Bailey Pepper, the freshman, gets the assist on that one. We have Heidi Kreckle, who's come to the line to sub in, and she's a senior, and it's nice to see her get some action. She's going to take Lauren's place up front, and Hannah Lauren, who has had a big night, comes off, and Coach Sherman's going to meet her in the line and congratulate her on a job very well done up front there.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity for the coach to dump the bench now. Get these kids some opportunity out there. 6-0's a pretty comfortable lead.
Yep, and even if we were talking a little bit, we'd like to see her do that. Even if Moriah scores a couple, that's okay. Let's get the bench some experience here in postseason play.
Absolutely, you can't beat the experience, that's for sure.
So Heidi Kreckle comes off and the bench and immediately gets a little action there. She tried to play a cross in and it went over the end line, and so good to see her get her foot on the ball right off the bat. And Moriah plays a goal kick here as Bryce plays the ball up. Kreckle fights for that ball and not quite able to get there, but she comes back and is able to control and plays the ball out to Gilmore nicely. Gilmore makes a nice cut into the center, and she is able to play the ball across, and had Gagno making a nice run on. Shelby Gagno turns and takes a shot, goes wide off the post, and good work there by the senior coming off the bench.
Good opportunity for Gagno to put a ball in just like her old man used to back in the day.
So Shelby Gagno makes a nice turn on the ball there and plays that one in, but wasn't able to collect the goal. That's number 3 on the far side, Lily Hayes, working to bring that ball across. She makes a nice cross in as Kreckle gets cracked in the box. But Mr. Lambert's going to be pretty conservative with bringing that whistle out in the box again, I would think. So that ball goes out of bounds, and this is going to be another Chazy corner kick. And Kenan Latrimore is going over to take that one. As we see a few of these girls that have come off putting their warm-ups on, so they're going to be done for the evening, which is good, and hopefully we'll see, like we said, a few more of the younger ones get another shot here. And there's another goal by Chazy, and I am not sure who put that one in, but I think that might have been.
I think it's number 5.
I think so. If it was number 5, it was Heidi Kreckle. If not, it was Lily Hayes. But the two of them are right there. We'll see who gets credit for that one. Take a break. Back, and the goal was scored by number 5, Heidi Kreckle. Again, the senior coming off the bench to make it 7-0 Chazy, and the assist will go to number 4, senior Shelby Gagno. Oh, the assist went to number 21, Kenan Latrimore. So Gagno was there and working in the box, but apparently she didn't touch it. The big ball is played over, and Blaze controls. Blaze plays the ball up. but number 10, Spacek, steps up to take that as Polomsky takes her off the ball. This is Shelby Gagnon running on, and she tries to play the ball through. It goes off a defender, and we have now number 29, Skylar Thomas, number 23, Mara Trombley, who scored a goal in the first half, and number 12, Paige Barcombe, warming up for Chazy. Paige, any relation to you?
She is not.
Okay.
Babysitter for us.
There you go. Yeah, her dad's down front here in this giant blue umbrella. Has the whole family under one. That's quite the umbrella he has. For Paige, Gary works with me at the hospital there, and it's good. As we were saying, let's get some more players off the bench here as we lead as Chazy leads 7-0 with Courtney Gilmore letting a shot go, and that one goes harmlessly wide right. We are at the 18-minute mark of the second half with Chazy leading 7-0, and Barkham's going to go back to sweeper, and Olivia Blaze, who did a wonderful job out there, comes off. Kidden Latrimore comes off of midfield, and she's still holding that right arm funny. And Courtney Gilmore comes off as well. And so three of the powerhouse starters here for Chazy come off, and going to give the bench some action here. Hannah Hayes controls out here on the right side on the defensive end as Mara Trombley makes a run, and that's going to be a Moriah throw-in. The linesman over here was motioning the other direction, but and I think that's Mr. Bayshard on this side. Ball controlled by Hannah Hayes up to Mara Trombley. Mara Trombley turns looking for number 3, Lily Hayes, and Hannah Hayes comes through and unable to chest that ball down as it's played by number 12, Pratt. Pratt unable to get the ball through as Polomsky plays the ball up and out of bounds. Number 14, Slattery is coming back on the field for Moriah as number 27, McDougall checks out. So again, they continue to play those three deep, pretty flat in the back here as 17, Brace plays the ball up. Finds number 11, Meacham. Meacham not able to control, and the ball comes to the middle where 23, Mara Trombley tried to control. Ball comes back to Paige Barkham. She heads the ball forward. Unable to find a Chazy player, and 24, Snyder plays the ball in as Logan Baker comes off the line and collects it. I don't think Baker has had to make a save yet in this game.
I don't recall one. I really don't.
So I think Chazy not only in the offensive end with 7 shots, or 7 goals, I mean, I think they may have limited Moriah to 0 shots at this time as well. So number 10, Spacek plays a big ball up to the left corner. Again, that wind has died down, so that's not a factor anymore. There's a flag lays limp. The ball is played up to Trombley. Trombley controls and looks for, I believe, Lily Hayes. Lily Hayes trying to find Paige Krekel, unable to get it through, touches by, and that's going to be a Moriah throw-in. Slattery picks the ball up, throws it forward as Polomsky heads the ball by her. Snyder plays the ball back to the center of the field to number 12, Pratt. Pratt finds number 10, Spacek. Spacek plays the ball in, but again, Logan Baker is right there and comes out of her 6-yard box and collects the ball.
Well, it looks like the rain has let up. If not, no, I guess it's still raining slightly, but certainly let up some, so that's good news for the boys' game coming up.
Yeah, we were saying that it looked like about 7 o'clock there was a hole in this storm center here, and that there would be an opportunity for the boys maybe to play with none. As Heidi Krekel is able to skip that ball through, she goes on, she takes a shot from wide. She might have had 1 or 2 more touches there, Lee, and had another opportunity for a second goal.
You get anxious when you're a goal scorer. You get a chance like that, you get real anxious.
I'm open, let me go. So number 6 there, Samantha Ida collects the ball for Moriah as Slattery is forced to just play another big ball up as Shelby Gagnon works to the middle of the box, trying to find number 3, that is Lily Hayes, who's gone to the far side, and we're getting another Chazy corner kick.
Well, pretty safe to say the Eagles are going to advance to take on Section 10 champ. and that's going to be the more than likely Chateauguay, with barring any upset. So that'll make for a really good game as well.
And they'll be right back here next Saturday night in the Plattsburgh High School field, where Section 7, the Section 7, Section 10 Class D regional games will be contested. And
So that means, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. That means that the Section 10 champ is going to play either 2 or 3 games prior to meeting this team in a week from now. That's a lot of games.
yes, they actually they're all going to play 3 games, as they are in the quarterfinals now, and there's no byes left. So they play their quarterfinals today. They play their semifinals, I believe, on Tuesday. At least this is for the boys. This I know for sure. The boys play their semifinals on Tuesday. They play their finals on Thursday, and then are going to have to come in here and play their finals on Saturday. For the Section 7 teams, they play today. They have 7 days to collect themselves, rest, figure out strategy. The only problem is they're not going to know who.
Right. The girls' game actually was pushed back. They were supposed to play yesterday. It was pushed back to today because of the weather events yesterday. So there may be a team with 4 games coming through, amazingly enough.
Yeah, that is a possibility if there's an upset, like you said. It's because, there was very, very high winds here in the North Country yesterday, especially over there in the St. Lawrence Valley region, and all Section 10 games were canceled yesterday due to those high winds over there. Oh, there was a ball with Slattery with her arm in the air, but Todd Lambert just said, let's play on, and so we move forward here as Paige Barkham plays the ball over the top.
I think, as you said, Sean, it's going to take probably a dangerous play for him to pull the whistle out at this point.
Yeah, and rightly so. It's unless it's something extremely blatant, let's just let him play on and get this one in the books. We're down to 12 minutes with Chazy leading 7-0. As number 27, McDougal checks back in, and Brace is going to take a rest. Brace, I've called her name quite a few times out here. She has had to play quite a few balls out, but she has been somewhat of a presence over here in this fullback position over here.
The defense has been worked real hard for Moriah, and they've done an admirable job, really. Just the pressure's been on almost constantly.
Okay, so we'll get back to the action here as the Moriah defender plays the ball up and finds Slattery. No, I'm sorry, that's number 12. That's Pratt. 14 is Slattery, who gets the ball there. Meacham plays it back out to Slattery. Slattery trying to get on the ball. And you can tell these Moriah girls are starting to get a bit winded here. McDougal tries to play that ball and is unable to. Lily Hayes coming on hard. The big ball is played defensively just to clear that ball out, and it rolls out just inside the flag. Chazy will have a deep throw in as number 29, Skylar Thomas, who is a junior, goes up to take that throw.
Who's 11 for?
I'm sorry?
11 for Chazy?
Maritza Lester.
She just checked in.
Maritza Lester, who is a senior, has just checked in for Chazy, and she takes off Polumsky, and she'll be at the stopper position. And a ball is played out and controlled as Chazy had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the box. Very hungry to score number 8 there, and the counter was thwarted by the 4 defenders that were back. And Moriah will get a throw in here as the ball's thrown back into Meacham. Shelby Gagno plays a big ball up a little bit too far as Krekel's not able to get there, and Cross comes out to the top of the box and collects that one. And a few more fans are starting to gather in here as we are approaching the time for the boys' game to start. And the girls are winding theirs down with 10 minutes left in this game. Sorry, Kelvin, I'm going to call it as Chazy leads 7-0. And Moriah's going to get a throw in deep here as some of the subs have been worked in. And I think we still got a few more that could come off the bench and maybe see some action here for Chazy in this next 10 minutes.
Looks like number 7's getting prepared.
Number 7, Caitlin Terrian, is preparing to come in, and she'll be the next one to come in off the bench. As Meacham tries to work the ball through and is unable to. As Hannah Hayes was trying to get out there and you know what? That I have that wrong. I have Caitlin Terrian down as number 7, but I believe that is one of the other Lauren girls there. But the roster I was given said Terrian, so that's what we're going to stick with. No, I think that is Caitlin Terrian. I don't think that is Warner. So here's Snyder, who actually gets one into the box. Logan Baker comes out, and the Moriah player was down, and I think we're going to have to call that one a save. Well, as Moriah scores a shot, if they didn't have one before, we're gonna call that one a shot, and Moriah's going to be credited with a shot as Baker had to come out and make a diving work on that ball.
It was a nice aggressive play by Baker for somebody who hasn't been tested all game, and probably is awful cold back there, to be honest with you.
She's ready to go at it there. As the ball comes out with Gagnon, and this is just going to be very difficult to stay on sides as nobody is back from Moriah. And the ball's worked out of bounds and it'll be a Chazy throw-in. And also, let's see, we have number 7 Terrian coming into the game, and number 18 Kenna Barnes checks in as Hannah Hayes and Kaylee Laporte check out. Number 13, Christine Pilon, comes to the line, and she'll be next to Gwen, and that's another senior that's going to see some action. So this is a great. Coach Sherman's able to go to her bench, and I think she's going to be able to get the majority of her girls with some experience, if not everybody, in tonight.
We got about 7:45 left.
Pilon checks in, and not sure who's coming off here. Yeah, I think that's going to be Gagnon coming off. No, that's Bailey Pepper coming off.
Hard to tell the girls. They got the braids and the head.
Yeah, they look a lot alike. The ball's played up top to number 29. That's Skylar Thomas, but she's unable to control, and that ball goes off, and Cross steps out and takes control as it was chipped across the box there. She throws the ball out and finds Snyder. Snyder chips the ball up, finds number 5 Burbank. That's going to be a white throw, and as Lester was contesting number 12 Pratt, and the ball goes off of Pratt. A throw into Krekel. Krekel unable to control. Plays through to number 6 Ida. Backheels the ball off of Krekel, and 14 Slattery comes over and does a little twirl and takes the throw in. So 18 Kenna Barnes plays the ball up. And Lily Hayes is trying to work that one through and unable to control as Slattery plays the ball out wide as Shelby Gagnon gives chase, and Shelby will take the throw in on the far side. Gagnon throws in, finds Mara Tremblay. Ball goes off of Tremblay and back to Slattery for Moriah. Played up by Terrian. And a big ball played up and out of bounds by Moriah, and this will be a Chazy throw-in on the near side. So we are at 6 minutes remaining. Chazy with a 7-0 lead, and pretty much the entire starting crew has been subbed at this time, except for maybe Baker back there in goal, as Paige Barkham plays a big ball up, finds Lily Hayes. Lily Hayes unable to move the ball forward, but it bounces off 17. That is Brace, who's back in the game for Moriah, and Moriah controls. Tries to find Snyder, but Barkham steps up and clears that one as Krekel takes a nice touch and moves the ball to her left. Double teamed as McDougal steps up. Number 5, Ida, comes out with chases Krekel. Krekel turns the corner with her as they go a nice shoulder-to-shoulder play there. As Samantha Ida wins the ball and is able to move the ball up to the side. Plays to number 12, Pratt. Pratt and Terrian are contested there, but it's going to be a Moriah throw-in. Plays the ball big, and it goes back through where Paige Barkham is able to control and plays the ball up. It's number 18, Kenna Barnes, gives chase on Snyder. As Snyder, as she showed earlier, has a lot of speed and is able to get around Barnes. Barkham comes over to assist, and Snyder still has the ball, takes the shot, and goes wide into the side net. We're down to 4.5 with Chazy leading 7-0.
Well, strong performance by the Eagles tonight. That'll give them lots of confidence going into the next game. It's always good to put a lot of balls in the net. It gives your offense a lot of confidence, and defensively they were stellar. Olivia Blaze played an outstanding game. She was basically the one that prohibited Baker from making many saves back there.
Yes, and until she was subbed out, as we said, we were not, Lee and I were not crediting any shots to Moriah before that happened. So did an outstanding job, as well as Polomsky in the stopper position, Kaylee Laporte at one of the fullbacks, and Hannah Hayes on the other one. And the subs that have come in and done a stellar job as well.
Yeah, had a few goals off the bench, and that's always nice. And the defense has kept the ball off the board for Moriah.
That ball is thrown in, and Kenna Barnes controls, and Moriah will have a second throw in here. I see Coach Brendler going by in his yellow rain slicker down here. And as always, he doesn't miss them, and we're glad to have Coach here. And that ball is controlled by Lily Hayes. Hayes tries to play across to find Krekel, controlled by Brace in the center. Brace plays up and finds Snyder. Snyder with that speed does a cut instead this time, and plays back to the middle of the field. Plays the ball up with Pratt running on, and Logan Baker comes off her line and collects that one before a shot's been able to be levied there.
She's been nicely aggressive when she's had to be. That's important.
She's timing when she comes off. She doesn't hesitate. She's out there and she's on them. That's good. And you see them going back and forth. And if you're going to assert, you got to go.
That's right.
So Mara Trombley is mixing it up a little bit there with McDougal, and the ball comes out to number 13, Pelon. Not able to control, and this will be a throw-in for Samantha Ida. Ida's not very big, but I've noticed she stands tall, and she'll go shoulder to shoulder with them. Slattery controls in the middle. She continues to move the ball across the field, plays the ball in, and Terry does a nice job of stepping up and not letting Snyder through on that one. As Sprague, I haven't said her name much here in the second half, but she's back in the action over there. Shelby Gaudio makes a run on, and this is going to leave Krekel running in. Cross is going to have to come out of her box and play this with her foot, as Pelon looks to get to this ball, and it goes under her and it's played outside. Goes off of Ida, and this is going to be a Chazy throw, and we are down to 1 minute and 40 seconds left in the contest, and Chazy will have another throw in with Pelon here.
Girls are lining up on the sideline, getting ready for the celebration.
Yeah, it's they're going to bring home another Section 7 crown as they win Section 7 for I don't know how many times.
Seems like 11 and 13 years sticks in my head.
Okay, which just tremendous as Pelon plays the ball through and works out the ball off of Ida, and Chazy will have another throw in, and we're down to 1 minute and 15 seconds. Throw-in comes to Trombley. We had a little bit of a tripod malfunction behind us. That's all that noise was, but everybody's okay as we move forward. It's Slattery controls for Moriah. And we're down to 1 minute left in the contest as she's double teamed, and Lester takes her off the ball. Shelby Gagnon works down the left side of the field as Meacham takes her off the ball. Meacham plays a big ball over the top, trying to find Snyder as Terrian comes back and controls. Snyder steps in front of her and takes the ball away. Unable to control it as the ball goes out of bounds, and we are down to 30 seconds left in the contest, and it looks like Logan Baker's going to have her 7th clean sheet of the year.
Very nice performance for Chazy all around. Again, confidence for the keep, too.
Yep. The ball is headed by Krekel, who has done a nice job off the bench, as Lily Hayes is still working hard and tries to control that one, and Pelon will take this throw in. And we wind down to 15 seconds. The throwing goes to Trombley. Trombley controls. Booted up by Lily Hayes, and there's the flag, or there's the horn, and as the girls take the field, some run to Baker, some run to the midfield. We've got Chazy girls everywhere as they are going to celebrate their win. I think Lee's probably going to catch it as we see the E-Town Lewis boys make their way to the field, and they'll be meeting the Chazy boys, who are coming right behind them, and we'll have the boys action coming next as Section 7 Class D boys finals will be contested here in just a few minutes. We'll get the presentation of the section trophy to the Chazy girls for the Class D championship as they have collected another one, and we'll have that presentation in just a minute. Okay, we are back, and we have Chazy is going to be presented with their trophy here as the four captains from Chazy go out and meet Mr. Tim Mulligan from Plattsburgh, who is the Plattsburgh coach and the Section 7 coordinator for the girls soccer program. And as he presents Chazy with the trophy, and there it goes in the air as the girls will go out and celebrate their sectional conquest here. So, Lee, as you said, they will move on, and they will be here next weekend in Plattsburgh to meet their Section 10 foe. Any words of wisdom for them?
Yeah, play like you did tonight.
They came out strong. They played well as a team. They moved the ball well. They used their wings. Defense was very strong and did just a super job in stepping up and stopping all those shots. Congrats to Coach Sherman and her team, and we'll see these Chazy girls next weekend. We're going to take a little break here. As you can see, the boys are out here from E-Town and Chazy warming up, and they put 25 minutes on the clock, so we're going to take